Kashika Khurana, I'm so excited to have you. You lead with a very full CV at a very young age. You're a high school junior in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and you're passionate about the intersection of AI, finance, and wellness. And you're a podcast host of ComputHER SHEience, and you are a public speaker, a competitive dancer, and you are a mental health advocate. You also set up Reviving Calm and Code with Impact. So you've done a lot of work with other young people. Tell us about your journey, Kashika, and how you feel you got to where you are today.
Yes, well, thank you so much, Stephanie, for that beautiful introduction. I'm so excited to be here today. What got me going in starting all of these initiatives, I think, is the central core of wanting to blend in CS and AI with mental health advocacy. And this field is something I'm really passionate about, and I feel like the change that you can create here is like none other, because blending CS and mental health resources for youth has been something that I've been really passionate about ever since I was a kid, mental health. And so now that I get to bridge that and actually work with other kids is so incredible. So yeah, I can talk to you a little bit about my organizations. So first of all, we have Reviving Calm. This is my organization where I host yoga and meditation classes to help youth recultivate that calm and confidence that's often you think of yoga or meditation as boring or uncool, right? But it's been really exciting teaching this to younger kids. And the first time they come to the classes, it's probably because their mom forced them to. But it's been so inspiring after they actually start learning all the tools in yoga and meditation and how it's really so calming and so reviving. And that they really learn that they can be one with their breath and their body and their mind. They begin to love yoga and meditation as free resources to kind of relax, to de-stress, and use that as a mental health resource for people who maybe cannot afford expensive mental health resources. Yoga just serves as a great thing, and I love doing that. Now, with this, I can host the classes probably in just the Dallas area, right? But I wanted to make an impact that is global, that is national, that reaches more and more people. So I have my club, Code with Impact, and we host hackathons for elementary and middle school children. So we kind of teach them that arc of innovation from not just coding, but also brainstorming a solution to an actual community issue, and then brainstorming that, building that up, finding where are you going to get the fundraising for this, coding that, and then pitching that, and then presenting that. So our last hackathon that we did was on the theme was mental health, and all of these kids created beautiful, just wonderful mental health resources that other kids could use. And it was just so nice to see both of my passions coming together to serve this common cause. I think that's what keeps me going every time.
Kashika, and that sounds incredibly inspiring. Tell us how you do it all. You have to be a high school junior, right? You have to study hard. I'm sure you've set your eyes on, a very competitive future. Talk to us about how you do it all.
Yes, of course. So I'd say like time management is one of those things that everyone struggles with at times. And it's really, no matter how much you create a plan, it's all about can you action it? And so I personally love creating plans and doing my calendar. I love using Apple Calendar, Google Calendar. And it's really nice to create that plan. But I think what keeps people going is actually that purpose behind what you're doing to stick with that plan. So for me, yes, I go to school almost like 8 p.m. to 4 p.m. every single day. But then when I come back, it's not like, yes, I am exhausted. Yes, I am tired. And I sometimes would love to take a scroll on Instagram, on TikTok. But what really is going to keep you going is that purpose. So for me, I love that I get to create the change that I get to create. As part of my podcast, so a lot of times I'll come from home from school and then I'll have a podcast recording to do and I'll have an interview. And it's kind of like this because we host these incredible women in the STEM and the business fields. And what's really exciting is not just filming that podcast and obviously getting to know those people, but it's exciting the change that I get to create and the woman that I get to connect to those young girls that are listening to my podcast. So just recently I had this girl who reached out to me about 3 weeks ago, and she was like, I was kind of thinking of joining the CSUIL club at my school, and she's in a different state, and she's like, I was planning on doing this, but my club is all guys, and I don't know if I would want to do it or not. And then she's like, I saw your recording. I saw one of your interviews where you're interviewing this girl who's at Harvard and she's studying computer science there. And she was like, that really inspired me. And I joined that club and now I love it. I'm so excited you posted that podcast. Like, thank you so much. I was like, yeah, this is why I do what I do. And even if I have a lot on my plate and I have a full day of schedules and events just planned out, I still want to do it because I know what I'm creating truly makes a difference. It's like stories like this are what keep you going, even when you have a lot to balance.
Kashika, I feel that we really align because you, with your podcast, ComputHER SHeience, this is for girls who don't grow up with blueprints, right? It's for Black, Hispanic, minority, immigrant girls who may not have those networks and legacy admissions, but they carry ambition that is really fierce. And so you are interested in spotlighting successful women who are shaping the future of STEM and business because you want to lessen that degree of separation between the role models that you feature on there and the people you want to reach. And that's pretty much what we do at WECAN. So talk to us a little bit about all these different things that you're really passionate about.
Yes, of course. There is quite a lot. I'd say it's CS and AI in that STEM aspect, and then really encouraging those girls to, with my podcast, to like start STEM and to do STEM. And yes, the number of girls are increasing in the STEM spaces, but in terms of numbers, but the number of girls who truly feel seen, who truly feel supported, who truly feel heard in these STEM spaces is not increasing at the rate that we would want it to do. So that's what I try to do with my podcast. And, you know, getting into these STEM spaces in high school is something that's kind of hard for a lot of girls. And so it's really nice showcasing women that are now in college but have done stuff in STEM and business in high school, really gives them like a push factor that, hey, I can do it too. And so, especially for those girls who don't have maybe mentors at, elite institutions, or they don't really have people that they can ask because not a lot of people around them maybe are interested in STEM or are interested in CS. And so when you hear advice from women who are already there and you hear their mindset shifts and how they truly got to where they are, it gives you a lot of motivation. And so with my podcast, I try to frame it as a very practical podcast rather than like a passive one where you just listen to, because I try to frame my questions based on what I would have when I was in seventh, eighth, ninth grade. And so I try to frame those questions based on what somebody would actually want to listen to and want to ask, especially those girls who maybe don't have that many resources. And so with that, I love that I can bridge that gap between wanting to be in STEM and truly understanding that you can be in STEM and you can shine in STEM. And so that podcast, I think, is the overarching story of all of these different women that I get to interview. And they're interested in different things. Some people are CS, some people are interested in biology, some people are interested in business, some people are interested in mental health advocacy. And just hearing those stories and connecting other girls to all of those stories, I think is what makes up the most of me.
Yeah. So talk to us a bit about your challenges, Kashika, and how you reframe them.
Yes. So, okay, being in these leadership roles and starting initiatives in high school put me in the spotlight very, very early. So, I had to navigate the self-doubt of, other people at my school seeing what I was doing, while also making sure that I was showing up fully and making sure that I was giving my whole to the initiative that I was doing, even if I didn't think I was ready for it. So, I think navigating that imposter syndrome of, hey, am I ready to start to be in this field? Like, am I ready to be a leader? Am I ready to start an initiative? was one of the most challenging things for me. And I really had to understand that, hey, you have to start things before you're ready. You can't wait until you're ready to do it because you could create that. I'm a very type A person, so I love creating plans and making sure everything is super perfect, and I'll go into the nitty-gritty of the plan. You can create the most elaborate plan, but you will never feel ready enough. So you just have to go out there and do the thing before you're ready. You'll go in feeling a little scared, but then you'll come out knowing that you grew, knowing that you learned so much. So that uncomfortable feeling is something I really honed into rather than trying to run away from. When I did feel uncomfortable, like, hey, should I do this? Should I start this? I started honing into this feeling and realizing whenever I felt uncomfortable or felt I wasn't ready to do something, I would come out of it having grown, having learned, having trusted in myself, and then really become more confident after doing that thing. And so every time I feel like I'm not ready and feel that feeling of like excitement, but like nervousness, like should I do it or not? I remind myself that the more that I do this, the more that I'll grow and the more that I'll learn. So really always, always go and do things before you're ready for them because you can navigate challenges. You can trust yourself that you can do whatever life throws your way. And if there's like a little hurdle on the way, you are amazing and you can handle that. So I think just allowing myself to do things before I was ready was something I had to learn to do.
Kashika, and I love that because that's amazing self-awareness and a level of maturity that is incredible because often we only realize this much later, right? This scrappy and imperfect way is a good way to start. Um, so I'm wondering what tips would you give to other young people that, are listening to this and think, I also want to contribute to our global village?
Yes, of course. So really, whatever change you want to create, it's that belief that you can do that thing that will make the biggest difference. So you need to have confidence in yourself. And for me, when I was very little in first grade, second grade, I had just moved to the States from India. And so I really wasn't too confident as a child. I would often sound really funny. I would have an accent and I wouldn't look like the rest of my peers. I would sound very different and I'd often be hesitant to raise my hand in class or even approach people that I didn't know. And so learning through that in middle school, in elementary school, and then up to middle school, like navigating that and kind of teaching myself what confidence was for me and how I could be confident was something that I had to do. And now I think I'm a whole new person now. I'm definitely really confident in what I say. I trust in myself a lot more now. And so the biggest thing that's been for starting these initiatives and starting this vision is to trust that you can. And so the more confident that you are, the more that you'll really be able to do things because it's that self-belief that truly makes a difference. So I would recommend everyone to just focus on building that trust with yourself, do those things that you really want to do, and make sure that you are always repeating positive self-talk to yourself.
Mm.
Don't say anything critical or don't say anything negative about yourself, and always hype yourself up. You have to be your biggest cheerleader because if you do want to create global change, there are going to be so many obstacles on your way. And yes, some people are going to support you, some people are going to not support you, but what's going to matter at the end of the day is that the person that you see in the mirror supports you, and they are your biggest cheerleader. So
Am-
really learning those confidence tips has been the biggest thing.
Amazing, Kashika. So talk to us, what will success look like for you?
Okay, success. It's a very strong word. Success, to me at least, it looks like being content in what I do, but to know that I'm not just stopping at the baseline, but I'm always trying to go above and beyond and trying to give my 120% in whatever I do. But so it's always trying to do as much as I can and not like as much in a way where it's like overworking myself, but always trying to give everything the most and trying to fulfill what I want to do and work towards my mission and my vision. But also understanding that, hey, it's okay to not achieve all that you thought you were going to achieve. Now, it's the new year right now, so we all are probably looking at our goals from 2025. And there's a lot of things that I did achieve, but a lot of things that I didn't. And success to me is just understanding that whatever you did achieve is amazing, and that's what you had to achieve. If you didn't get to do something, or you lost at something, or you got rejected, rejection is protection. And it's just understanding that you should be content in whatever you have in your family, in your relationships, in what you've accomplished at work, at school. And as long as you're content with giving as much as you can, giving 110%, 120%, but then understanding whatever was meant to happen will happen. And whatever didn't happen, even if you put in all your effort, that's okay. So as long as you're content, I think that's that definition of success that I would like to chase.
Yeah, amazing. Kashika, so talk to us a little bit about the direction that you think you will walk towards with, the next years. What are your ambitions and goals? Where would you like to head?
Yes, of course. So in the next few years, I definitely see myself pursuing undergrad. And then I truly want to continue the advocacy that I'm doing right now. With Computer Sheience, I want to grow it, I want to expand it. And if I'm at colleges, maybe expand to college students. And so right now, we're mostly featuring college students and looking at high school girls, middle school girls who want to enter college. But maybe I want to expand and just show all of these incredible women doing incredible things. So maybe expand to people in their MBA, people after their MBA, and just show women and their journey and expand that to college campuses is what I see myself doing. And then I want to work in the fields of data science, of AI, along with that mental health. I want to bridge that together, and that's the field that I hope to work in. And the main thing is continuing the change that I'm creating and continuing that regardless of what form I'm doing it in, whether it's with my organizations, whether it's with work, whether it's with another organization, I just want to continue uplifting those core pillars that make up who I am.
Kashika, so talk to us a little bit more in detail. What kind of colleges are you looking at? What kind of courses? How do you need to prepare for that?
Yes. So for somebody who is interested in going to college, something that's really important is to understand obviously try to create a plan of what you want to do. It's not just, don't go to a specific college just because it's a big name or you think it'll look impressive to like future jobs or you'll meet somebody cool there. It's not about that name or that institution. It's about, does it fulfill what you want to do?
Mm.
So if you're interested in CS, don't look at those STEM oriented schools and try to position yourself in whatever you're interested in. Do that in high school. If you're interested in college, that is so amazing and you're going to learn and grow so much in college. So find a few colleges that you would like to go to and then see their students and see what they're doing right now. There's so many ways for us to know this now. You don't even have to know a student that goes to that college. There's LinkedIn, there's Instagram. You can find people that go to those colleges and look at them and kind of see, okay, if they are right there and you want to be there, what did they do in high school? And you can learn from them, you can grow with them. And so for me, I am looking at CS colleges and I'm looking to study STEM or business. So this is what I'm kind of trying to do in school. I take a CS course, or I at least like this year, I'm doing an AP course that I'm self-studying for in CS. So that's what I'm doing there. But then I'm also interested in business. So I'm doing a business course as well. And there's this really incredible course at my school. It's called like Practicum in Business and Finance and financial services. So we have a branch of a credit union that's fully functioning all across Northeast Texas inside of our school. And so if you're taking a class there, you get to be that teller at the bank and we get to do transactions, withdrawals, account openings. So I'd say take those courses that you're interested in. Like I was interested in business, so I took that business course and I got to learn so much about the world of marketing, finance, and how a bank operates and how a credit union operates. So take those courses in high school because your high school is your time to explore and figure out what you'd want to do in college. So that's what I'm trying.
So, Kashika, what kind of a future would you like to see for yourself? What kind of a world would you like to be a part of?
That's a good question.
That's a big
To
question,
see,
but I
yes.
love asking all the younger role models we have on WeCan because I think it paints a little bit the picture of, where your generation, what kind of a world your generation wants to be a part of.
Mhm. I'd say the world that, at least in the aspect that I'm creating change, I hope that in the future we can have a more equitable world in not just, like I said, in the numbers, but in the true balance of being seen and being supported. So in the STEM space, I hope that girls don't have to watch podcasts or they don't have to like watch a whole 50-minute video before starting and doing a CSUIL club. I hope that they feel already supported, already seen, already like they can do whatever they set their minds to in the future, and that girls truly belong in the STEM spaces, not just in terms of numbers, but in terms of how they feel. I also hope that advocacy in mental health is equitable. There's a lot of people who maybe don't have the resources to get luxury mental health or to go to therapy, to go to spas, and like what we think of mental health, they might not be able to do. So I hope that free mental health resources like yoga and meditation are there for everyone because that's something that a lot of people struggle with, and in the coming years, there's more and more chronic stress building up and more things that people can struggle with. And so I really hope that there are resources put in place. That's what I'm working towards. And I hope that there's more and more people that try to work towards that for equality in wellness and equality in the CS space. And just a more like a world where people don't have to think twice about starting something, about doing something, and where people are supported and heard and valued.
Kashika, so how can we, us, we can, and the listeners support you?
Yes. So I would say go and check out my podcast, Computer Sheeance. There are so many stories there about incredible women in not only the CS AI spaces, but business spaces. We even did a podcast on somebody that's studying law and philosophy. So check that out. Try to be inspired from that. And then I hope that that really inspires you to create more change. Send that podcast to anybody who you think is interested in STEM or business, not just girls, it's applicable to guys too, but especially those girls who you think would do amazing in STEM and business, but don't have that confidence right now. Send it to as many people as you can, and I really hope people can be inspired from that and then help to create this change that I'm trying to create.
Kashika, and what takeaways would you like our role model, our listeners to have from your story?
Yes. I'd say the biggest takeaway is if there's one thing that they listen to in this podcast, I hope it's just take that leap of faith in yourself and always trust in yourself. For me, like I said, I wasn't pretty very confident when I started, but I took that faith and I took that leap of faith in myself, and truly, truly, I've grown so much from doing so. So when I first started Code with Impact, it was the first club that I started at my school, and it's pretty nerve-wracking to start your club when it's like your first thing and you're starting it all by yourself. You're trying to market to your friends, you're trying to market to other people that you barely know. You're trying to market to upperclassmen to like, hey, join the vision, join this. And I was very nervous in doing so, and I really felt that I wasn't ready. I wasn't cut out for this. But just understand that you are cut out for this and you can do this is what I would say take away. Know that you should be confident in yourself. And the more I always stress just being confident in yourself, the more that you trust that you can do it, regardless of what you want to work in, if you want to work in STEM, if you want to do stuff in mental health, just be confident in whatever field and trust that you truly, truly can.
Kashika, I'm so honored to have you on WECAN. I'm excited that you contacted us. I'm thankful for your incredible leadership in self-trust, self-awareness, growth, and showing what can be done at such a young age. And I'm excited to see what's in store for you in the future.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. It was so fun talking to you. And I truly hope that more people are inspired by our podcast.